150 of the income stream. Thank you so much for joining me today. A lot of the members here were expecting something like super celebratory or super special, and it is special. I mean, it's so special that we've gone this far, but hey, we're gonna keep going. We're not gonna change up the day. Saturday is an important day because we do these website and YouTube channel reviews for you, and so whether you get your stuff reviewed or not, you're gonna find some value here because we're gonna go over first what we should all be paying attention to with our own stuff to better maximize the chances of people sticking around, sharing it, enjoying it, being a part of our tribe, becoming a super fan perhaps. And I'm looking forward to reviewing some of your stuff today. And again, welcome to 150. If you're watching the replay, hashtag Team Replay in the comment section. If you're here with your friends live with me today on a Saturday morning, thank you so much for joining me and spending time with me today. Say hello to your friends. And if you're a YouTube member here, hook me up with your favorite emoji. And during the song, hit that thumbs up button. Here we go.
This is the income stream to help you achieve your dream, all while we keep it clean. This is the income stream. It's the kind of show where you can come and go, but then you leave inspired with no fee required. The income stream with Pat Flynn.
All right. Happy Saturday, everybody. Also, welcome to brand new YouTube Team Flynn member Gold, Terrell. Thank you for that, Terrell. I appreciate you. And we're going to be going mostly through the chat in terms of who I should be reviewing. The website forum, I mean, it's just not getting as much activity as I would have hoped. And that's just because I don't really mention it that often. And I want to provide value for those of you who are live here. So I'm going to ask you a little bit later for you to pop in your URL or a YouTube channel that you'd like me to review in the chat. But we're going to save that for now. But I do want to mention that, who is it, Bernard here? Bernard said, I heard the Twitch session yesterday was quite funny. Yeah, Twitch is a live streaming platform outside of YouTube where I stream video games with my kids. Yesterday we were playing Fortnite, and Manos, one of our members who actually comes on the income stream, watched and said, hey, you should play Watch Your Mouth, but with your kids while playing Fortnite. So we put those little things in our mouths to, if you don't know what Watch Your Mouth is, it's sort of this game where you put this thing in your mouth and it sort of looks like that. And then you like try to say some things, and it was just a ridiculous time. And it was super funny. It was super funny though. But I think that is there on the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/hotcoalsonly if you want to have a laugh or two. Anyway, let's get into the YouTube channel and the website reviews. And let's start off with what we are looking for. So here's what we're going to be looking for. Number one, and feel free to screenshot this if you'd like, because this is important stuff. When we visit these websites, when we visit these YouTube channels, number one, does it tell me who this is for and what's in it for me? This is absolutely the biggest mistake that people make when they have websites and YouTube channels, and even a podcast. It's not clear who this is for. And if it's not clear who this is for, how in the world are we going to know that we need to stick around and subscribe? And the more that you can hone in on A, the group of people that you have built this for, and B, nail the language that group of people is interested in or would trigger them to go, oh, this person knows what I'm here for, or what I want, or what my struggles are, etc. Those two things combined, the group as well as the language that you use related to that group, that's a great start. You're going to be already 50% ahead of the game there in terms of what most people do. So that's number one. Who is this for and what's in it for me? Number two, are you helping me know what to do first, right? So especially for websites, but even for YouTube channels, it's just a library of all kinds of, is it library or library? I always have a struggle with which one to pronounce, but anyway, it is a compendium of articles on a blog that are written in chronological order, but may not necessarily and shouldn't be necessarily consumed in that order that they were written. Not everything on a blog is going to be relevant to a person, especially if you have different sub-niches in your audience. There might be different segments, right? If you're a nutritional website, maybe there's people who are more interested in gluten-free versus vegan versus, doing it for weight gain or etc. There might be a whole bunch of different types of people. Not all articles are relevant to every single person. Same thing on a YouTube channel. I'm looking for the different categories that are split on especially the homepage of your YouTube channel, where it's really going to be the first impression. So on a YouTube channel specifically, how do I know I'm in the right spot? using the artwork at the top to make sure it expresses who this is for, what it's about, what am I going to get here, like just understanding if this is even for me. Number 2, a welcome video can be really handy, or at least a very popular video that's shown in the featured area. And then finally, categories shown below. Next, number 3, how am I going to connect to you versus others? How do I know that this website or YouTube channel that you have is different from all the other ones that are out there? What's going to get me to connect with you? A great way to think about doing this is number 1, either providing small quick wins up front in your content, so having it be very quick to get a result, and or putting a lot of your personality into your stuff. You know, that's a very, very unique thing that you have. Nobody's like you. You are 100% original. Therefore, it kind of is interesting how most people don't take advantage of that, because you are 100% unique. If you've listened to my podcast, for example, you know at the beginning of each and every single one of my 400 and some odd episodes starts with a random fun fact about me. Literally in 8 seconds, you'll hear it, and then it's done after 15 seconds. Super short. And I remember, quick story about this, in fact. And I know this is about a podcast, but I wanted to tell you about this already. YouTube members who have access to the emoji, you know what to do. Back when I started my podcast, there were a lot of mentors and people who were teaching people how to podcast, and I was going to them because that's what I do. When I learn things, I go to the experts because I want to shortcut my success. So I go to those people, and I'm like, hey, I have this idea. I want to put a fun little fact in the beginning of every one of my episodes, right? And they're like, okay, why? And I'm like, well, I think it would be a great way to connect with my audience. 3 different people who I looked up to, each basically said, and I'm paraphrasing here, Pat, that's kind of the dumbest idea I've ever heard. What's the point? Why would you do this? And in fact, I told them also that I was going to have my voiceover guy who I hired do this too. And they're like, no way, that's dumb. Why would you pay this person to share fun random facts about you at the beginning of these episodes? Nobody cares. Plus, what happens when you get to episode 200 and you run out of facts? Like, what's going to happen then? And I was like, but I really truly believe this is going to be a quick and easy way to differentiate myself, to have people connect with me sooner. And despite not listening to them and their advice, I did it anyway. And now 65 million downloads later and tons of thank you notes, I can say straight up that it's had a massive impact on building my audience. And these people who once told me that I was dumb have come back to me in separate moments of time and have said, Pat, you're a genius. And I said, no, I'm not a genius. I'm not a genius. I'm just trying to be human online. And online, people default to who is this person and why do they matter? Versus what I'm trying to do is, oh, this person seems just like a normal person that I can connect with, right? I'll tell you a follow-up story about that a little bit later, but that has had a lot to do. And people come up to me at conferences, and the first thing that they mention, if they see me and they're a fan, and I've never spoken to them before, they speak to me like we've been friends forever. And they always bring up the 1 or 2 fun fact that they can relate to. And again, I know that that's important because nobody is like me. And guess what? Nobody's like you. So use that to your advantage if you can. I do have to say, after 400 and some odd episodes, it is getting a little bit more difficult to every few months, every quarter, send in another batch of fun facts for my voiceover guy. His name is John Melly. He actually does the voiceover work for Social Media Examiner podcast or Social Media podcast, and he does an Australian voice for them. He does the movie guy voice for me. He does a lot of other voices. He's really cool. Again, his name is John Melly. Sarah said, woot, I made a weekend stream. Love it. Thank you so much for coming in, everybody. I appreciate you. So I want to start out by reviewing Max's website. He was one of the people who entered on the website to get reviewed today, and his website is over here at superapplicant.com. And I really love the idea of this website. I think maybe now is not necessarily the season for it because it has to do with college admissions and such, but I think it's a really smart idea, and I like how he approaches this. And so let's go over, remember, these rules here, right? What am I looking for? Does it tell me who this is for and what's in it for me? Let's check really quick. So Super Applicant, the smart way to get accepted into your dream colleges, right? So number one, this tells me this is for people who are in high school, for kids or for teens. and it's helping them get into their dream college, a very, very big pain and problem and consideration for kids at that age. So I really like how clear that is. And I really love the design of the website here. I mean, like just this, the highlight of the get accepted, dream colleges, just, hey, what do I do first? Oh, click here to get started for free. I love that. Super clear. I've never really seen one so clear. Usually we have to fight for that, but that's really clear here. Let's see this language here. Immersive online accelerator for driven students looking to 10x their chances, stand out, and wildly surpass the competition for top US colleges. So this is really cool. Very good language. The one thing I will say is that we also need to pay attention to what's happening right now. And the one thing that I didn't notice here are objections, right? And this is what I think is the most important thing to put on a website. I saw a little bit about it here on the FAQ, right? Is this only for high achieving students? This is the only place I've seen, well, how might you get into a person's head, right? This is so important, y'all. When you are building a website, especially if there is an offer of some kind, or you want people to get into a program, or you want people to download something, you need to know what's going into a person's head. So a person might come to this page and go, hey, is this only for high achieving students? And I love how Max here is literally addressing this head on right here. But this is the only spot that I see a very clear, oh, you're thinking this? Well, guess what? And let's see the answer here. No, this program is for motivated, hardworking students who are serious about getting into a top college, regardless of which stage you're at. So now if I have that thought, that objection, I'm like, okay, good. So I guess I'm still in the right spot. But we need more objections. I like how you have proof here, right? I want to join the top 1%. I want to be at the top of the class, etc. I love how you have very specific examples too. This is a really great example. Flynn here from Tampa, you have like a real image, a real location, a real name, and really good testimonials here. You've also said accepted too, which ties into directly the want or the goal. So I would recommend if we all do testimonials on our websites and sales pages, how might you share that this person has gotten a result? This is very clear, and I love that. Scrolling up a little bit more, stay on track with a step-by-step program in 6 weeks. So this here I like because it tells me a little bit more about what this program is. It's less apparent up top, right? This language here, immersive online accelerator, that I believe is not necessarily the best language because it's still a little bit confusing. What is it? What does immersive online accelerator mean? I like the step-by-step hands-on program, or for example, something a little bit less. And again, remember, these are teens who are looking to get access to their colleges, and that language may not be as relevant to them, immersive online accelerator, versus step-by-step 6-week program to jumpstart your college career or something like that, if that makes sense. Chat, how are we doing here? If you have any advice or any thoughts on this as well, feel free to share. I will read them out as they come in if I can. I love what Grandma Goody said here. Addressing objections up front is rising to the top of my list. Yes, it's so important with people to do that people default to doubt, as I said. Yes, exactly. What's up, Elton? Good to see you here. Welcome, everybody. Thanks, team. Sean, jamming. Great. Thanks for popping on the Twitch channel yesterday, by the way. So hopefully this is making sense. Off to a great start. I will say, as I was saying earlier, we have to understand what's going through a person's mind today. And when it comes to college applications, if you had some information on this website, Max, about the idea of what it's like now in this environment, this can be a really great way to stand out right now. The pandemic, it's real, it's going on, obviously. And it's affected education. It's affected colleges. If there was more information about how, or even free downloads or free blog posts or even a video about how one could potentially navigate the world of college applications today, then this would be a really, really great way to go about it, right? I work in a higher ed. I'll have to watch the replay and provide feedback. Thanks, Sean. No worries. I think the design is good. I would make the button a tiny bit larger. Yeah, I would agree with that. This button here, get started free. The other thing is that this down here, I had to scroll in to see the proof. And I like how you have like top colleges that people likely want. I wish Berkeley was on there because you have Stanford and I went to Berkeley. So, hey, that's just Anyway, not important. That's just for a silly thing. I have a rivalry with Stanford, by the way. But if I scroll all the way out and we look at this, I can't see those colleges. I can't see them. I would rather you have the logos that likely people who are trying to apply for colleges have on there bigger than this gateway with the person rising up. I think that's okay. We can maybe make that a little bit bigger. But then again, a video or something that relates to the times that are happening right now. It's going to be, that's probably the biggest thing. So how is Super Applicant applicable in today's age, if that makes sense? Cool. So good stuff, y'all. Good stuff. Let's see some questions here. So what would be some objections to watching Grandma Goody's Bible stories? So it might be directly mentioning up front that, hey, maybe you think this is silly, but I'm here to help you and provide entertainment for you. Or if any parents are watching, perhaps, hey, parents, don't worry, I'm here to keep it kid-friendly, and we teach Bible-related studies in a fun and entertaining way, because a lot of parents are likely going to be watching. And although you're addressing the kids, sometimes their parents are going to be there too. And I don't know, Grandma Goody, how much you've leaned into that, but speaking to the parents while in the room, essentially, even though you are building this for children, having the parents kind of overcome those objections of who is this person or what is this about, if that makes sense. Another objection might be, well, how deep into the Bible are you getting? And are you going to be trying to, how are you going to help a parent understand that you're going to teach in a way that they would enjoy, if that makes sense? So it's going to be a little bit more difficult because you play a character, and it's not like you want to get out of character to explain that stuff and then get back into character, but that's a big challenge for sure. Might be a downturn in applications due to current crisis. Provide an opportunity for a better chance of getting accepted, if so. Yep, I agree with that. Good morning, Pat Flynn. Sorry I'm late. Long hike with some noobs. All good. There's always some noobs, and hopefully you're educating them along the way. Let's see. Cool. So Max, thank you for that example. Let's actually go into Get Started for Free, because we want to go, okay, well, you've convinced us to get started. And when we want to collect information, we want to make this as simple and as easy as possible. Oftentimes when we see things like this, and again, I would agree, this button needs to stand out a little bit more, maybe a different color. I like the sort of orange color. Maybe it could be the orange color is like the action color on your website, if that makes sense. This button a little bit bigger, but I'm going to click on this button right here, and we'll see what happens. So Get Started Free. Start your free trial. Get instant access to the leading admission program that lands students in top 10x normal rate. No credit card required. That's great. That gets over an objection. Instant access, video training, and live workshops. So I see the example here on the right-hand side, and I like that you're sharing this, but it is a lot to take in a short period of time. I think that maybe you're scrolling by too quickly. My eye goes, oh, what is this? Like, I don't want to miss it. I like this page right here because it shows me the sort of what I can get access to. And like now that I'm scrolling in, there's so much text, I'm a little bit confused and almost overwhelmed before I get in. I think a video would be really amazing on this page too, right? A video that might be like, it might be like, hey, Max here. Like, I don't know, we haven't seen your face. We don't know who is behind this and why this is important to you. Maybe a little video on this page like, hey, Max here. Thank you so much for coming in here and getting your free trial. No credit card required. You can get instant access. And when you get in, here's what you're going to see. And then you show the screenshots of you're going to land here. And then what I want you to do first is click on your first lesson. This first lesson is really key because it really demonstrates how this program is a little bit different in the way that XYZ, and then you can get into ABC and 1, 2, 3, birds and the bees. I don't know why I said birds and the bees. That has different connotations, but by you explaining this video instead of just showing this video and hoping people get it, people will get a little bit more access to you. They will see that there's a real person behind this. They will feel like there's a friend on the other end that kind of knows what they're up to. Maybe you can even express a little bit of sort of like, hey, Max here. I remember what it was like when I got into college. It was really, really difficult. And I built a program that is the thing that I wish existed because it was so difficult. I wasted a lot of time and money, and you're in the right place. All you have to do is fill out the information below. Just put your name and your email, and I'll reach out to you and give you instant access to the course. Here's what it looks like once you get in. And then what I like to do is when we are either selling something or selling the idea of getting into something, showing people what it's like to land there and get started. I love that with online courses. I do that in my webinars when I'm selling. I do things like, all All right, guys, and when you get into Power Up Podcasting, here's what you're going to do. You're going to click on this welcome video. This welcome video will demonstrate how to navigate through Teachable, which is the online course platform that we use. And then by the end of this video, I want you to commit to starting a podcast, just like these 2,000 people have already done, if that makes sense. So, chat, does that make sense? It's what I like to call future pacing. I'm looking for a better name for that if you have one in mind, but literally kind of like predicting their future if they were to sign up, showing them what that's like, because in a person's mind, we have these things called mirror neurons, and when you see what it is that you're going to get before you get it, it makes you want to get it, right? People want to go through the same motions as you. Jermaine says, my niche has to do with the birds and the bees. Where's Tulane on top of that university list? Yeah, that's the other thing. I would worry a little bit about if you only showed these. I think it would be cool if you had a list of our program has helped kids like, or our program has helped people like you get into the following colleges. And it's just like, bam, Stanford, Yale, Harvard, Penn State, and Berkeley, and like all the top ones, right? Just right there. Canada Cat. Bruh. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining Team Flynn Gold. I appreciate you. Let me see those emojis that you just got access to if you can. Cool. So good stuff, y'all. Good stuff. Max, thank you, and I hope that's helpful. I liked how just simple the form was. Literally, I'm a student, first name, email, boom, start free trial. A very common mistake there is to literally ask people for like every piece of information they ever know, right? UCLA for sure. Yeah. So I love that it's short. You're doing a lot of things right. And I think that, and I'm hoping that a lot of this will make it easy for you to convince people. But again, especially for college and education related things, times are crazy right now. So how might you address that up front and go from there? So well done, well done, well done. All right, chat. If you'd like me to review something that you have, instead of just popping it into the website and going to patflynn.com, just pop it in the chat. I'll see it. It might not show up because YouTube likes to hold them hostage, but I will see them and I can approve them. Doesn't matter if I approve them or not, I'll find them. Just try to get creative with how you express the domain name. You might spell out the word dot in parentheses so that it doesn't maybe delete it automatically, but I will see some of them and we'll see if it gets through, and I'd love to help you. Cindy says, mirror neurons. Read all those studies with monkeys. I'm a neuropsychologist. LOL, not sure if they are fully activated in the way you said, though, but great advice. I'm not sure either. That's what I heard. But hey, it's placebo, right? You believe that that's the case. You show people those things. They're going to want to take action on that too. Are mirror neurons, Cindy, the thing that I watched a video yesterday on House of Highlights where somebody was trying to jump. He was standing on one of those poles that separates a street from a sidewalk. And he was trying to jump to another one and he ate it. And he fell and, hit himself in an area. And I literally felt it. When like watching the video. Is that mirror neurons, like feeling his feeling, even though it was just a video? Is that mirror neurons? Okay. So anyway, pop in a website or something that I can review, and I will do my best. YouTube channel, Year of Aping Dangerously, or K-Walk Comedy. All right, K-Walk, I got you. Let's go to YouTube and see if we can find you. Let's see here. K-Walk Comedy. All right, here you are. So I just looked up your name, which is great because then I found you right away. So I'm going to click on this, and we're going to go into first impressions on K-Walk Comedy's YouTube channel here. All right, so immediately I see a featured video, which is really great. And it looks like that this isn't a welcome video, and that's okay. Like I said earlier, a welcome video is not necessarily required. I don't have a welcome video. I used to have one, and it was great. But I instead got more subscribers by putting a video there that gained me the most subscribers. So if you go into, this is for everybody who's doing YouTube, if you have a YouTube channel, in your featured video area for new visitors, because you can have one for new visitors and one for returning visitors. For your new visitors one, you can either put a welcome video, like a short 1 to 2 minute welcome video. We've seen many great ones here on the channel before. Or you can put a featured video that is maybe your most popular one. You can go into your analytics to see which ones are pulling the most subscribers. Put that one there because it's proof that that one's working. And that's what I do, and it works really, really well. So let's get back into this. What I don't see here is artwork, right? At the top, there's a little banner that you can include, and that's a great way to just offer really quick words and images that express what this YouTube channel is about, and we want to go from there too. So start at Flynn. Today is our Indian Independence Day. Can you mention that here in the channel? Happy Indian Independence Day. That's super dope. Thanks for letting me know, Startup. Cool. So K-Walk, you could benefit from having sort of that banner art up the top. And it doesn't have to be super fancy. You can design it on something like canva.com. I'm wondering, in fact, if I go to canva.com, I wonder if it has a, let me log in here really quick. Log in. Do I have to check your email? Got it. Really? Okay, well, let me just see if there's templates here for YouTube. Canva, YouTube template. YouTube banner maker. Yep, it looks like there are banner makers here on YouTube, which is, or for YouTube on Canva, which is really great. Design your YouTube banners. Are going to make me get in here? Probably. Actually, what if I go this way? Cool. So YouTube channel art, you can see different examples. And if I go to, let's see, these are all results for YouTube. Let's see here. And you'll notice that they're designed in a way where there's like a lot of empty space around the edges. And that's really important to understand because what happens is you're going to upload it at this size. And what's really cool is I can move these around, right? And I can just, the place for awesome content. Not the best copywriting, obviously, but you'll upload it at the size. And the reason it's this size is because a lot of people watch these YouTube videos on a TV or on their giant iPads with huge resolutions, and it will show more stuff. But you'll notice that there's just a specific area in the middle. You don't want to design outside of that where the words are because then it's going to get cropped elsewhere. So you can use Canva to get started, pop something up there. It could probably happen really quickly, right? I'd love to see a channel review for my channel as well. Duck Gun Chronicles. All right, Duck Gun, I got you. We'll do you next. Duck Gun Chronicles. Logged in, just got back in-house and logged in as Year of APing Dangerously. Cool, we'll check out that channel too. I know you have a couple things, but let's go in here and I'd love to explore a little bit. Let's scroll down. You got uploads, and again, like I said earlier, we want to see, and I bet if I go to videos, there's going to be a lot more videos here that I can choose from. We want to see different categories, right? You have different categories of videos based on the tags or based on the category that you selected that they should be the playlist. That's what we want to see. So we don't have a playlist here. We just have uploads. So great start, and looks like you just gained a subscriber as well, which is pretty cool. But let me go to videos and play one of your latest videos to see. These thumbnails are okay, right? I think the kid pictures are really cute because they draw my attention. But the fact that they all look the same and the text is a little bit off to the side, and I think that we could go a little bit deeper. Like these thumbnails here are a little bit more interesting to me. Like this one that has some words and whatnot. I don't know. I think we could do a little bit more work there. But it looks like you streamed these a couple weeks ago. So these are live streams. Live streams are treated a little bit differently. And in live streams, that's going to be really interesting because we want to make sure that we have some still good artwork and thumbnails for people who come in and watch later. Also making sure that there are good keywords in the title and or a thumbnail that would draw people in as well. But it just looks like it's a great live show. So this live streaming component and platform is going to be really interesting. Let me just pop into one of these really quick and see how we go. Now, it's really important that in a live stream, and I don't hear anything yet, and I do believe that the audio's up. Oops, hold on. So it looks like it takes about, there you are.
Why are you muted?
You sound great. I think that you can move your camera down a little bit or have you move up a little bit because there's a lot of empty space up above you. We want to have you centered in there as much as possible, but you sound great. And I would say, hey, by the way, big shout out, thanks to SwitchPod in the back. Thank you, Kathy. But 6 minutes, 5 minutes of just nothing is not going to help you when it comes to people watching the replay. And unfortunately, that's the downside about these YouTube live streams is that, okay, well, in the beginning of the live streams, you have to welcome people in who are there live with you so that people who are there live with you can get access to you right away, and so that people who watch the replay later aren't just sitting there, because it's very hard for them to want to have to kind of move forward, if that makes sense. But in addition to that, well, it's like, okay, well, what if you're providing what's called a bumper in the beginning to get people interested in the live stream part of it, and you're waiting for people to come on before you get started? Well, you can, and it looks like you don't have the live chat here, so you can do this with no consequence. You can actually chop out the beginning part so that when people come and watch this video, they're right into the content and they don't have that waiting period up front. You can actually edit a YouTube video later to be able to do that, which is really interesting. I'm totally looking at the wrong camera. Sorry. I have like 700 different cameras here, so I'm just trying to, my bad. I'm looking at in the wrong spot. But anyway, with the live streams, yeah, and I think that I would encourage you to try and shoot some recorded videos, or because these live streams are so long, maybe you can pull out parts in the middle of these videos and have them show up just in regular search with a keyword and something that really relates to what people might search for. And that might bring some more people in, get them interested in, oh, this was a smaller part of a live show. Great. The live shows are tough because you might be talking about 10 different topics. Pull out one of those topics in a 5 to 10 minute chunk that's really interesting. That can be many, many opportunities for people to find you. The more you do that, the more likely it is people are going to find you and want to get into the live streams as well, if that makes sense. Nice to be on the chopping block. No worries, no worries. I got you. I'm here for you, and I hope that you're not taking offense to this. I think, again, you're off to an amazing start here. A lot of people don't even get to this point, but all these things will help you get a little bit further ahead much faster. K-Walk, what was the other channel that you wanted me to look at really quick? And then I'm going to get into Duck Gun Chronicles, which sounds really interesting. Great job overall, though. Yes. Again, great start. I'm just trying to help you fast forward ahead. My niece is working to edit down our list for some of our topics. Yeah, I think the best, you have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours of content here in the last 5 videos. Imagine how many different 5-minute topics you could pull out from that and turn into actual videos with thumbnails and really curiosity-driven keywords in the title that could bring more people into the show, which is really cool. So, yeah, I think that'd be great. A year of APing, right? That's right. Let's see if this comes up. There we go. Thanks, Kathy. Remember this. Cool. Year of APing dangerously, probably related to advanced placement, right? From podcast Year of APing dangerously, we strive to ask questions and explore issues to help today's leaders grow to tomorrow's leaders. This is great. Love the look of the website. Very clean. Would love to see your name up here, Kathy, and maybe a title to go along with it, and how that relates to this, right? You are the host. You are the authority. You're the leader here. The white on white's a little bit difficult to read, like welcome and place for educational leaders. So maybe what you could do is either put a drop shadow on this. See, when I highlight this, or even just highlight it, even that, like, look at that. That looked pretty cool. I just highlighted it, and it actually made it stand out a little bit better. Let me turn myself off there. From the podcast, Year of APing, we strive to ask questions, explore issues. So now I'm going to scroll down, and I would love to see where I can get these episodes. So here's more information about you. I would provide a little bit of space on the left and right-hand side because, like, if you look up here, this spacing is really nice. You have some breathing room on the left-hand side, some breathing room on the right-hand side. And again, Year of APing dangerously, a channel for education leaders. And it says, like, welcome to a space and place for educational leaders. So what about that, though? I'd love to have you go a little bit more deeper into, okay, it's a space, but what do I get in this space? What do, and again, like what Faye here said, I like the design of the homepage. Yeah, it looks really friendly. The colors definitely relate to the topic. very welcoming, and I like your picture there, Kathy. I would love to see your name there. But again, like, okay, it's a place for educational leaders, but what about that? Like, why is that important? What are we going to get here? Dive into that. Get into the language of people who are going to be here for sure. Scrolling down, this is a little bit interesting. I think I would center this and see how you might be able to take this background out again, because now we have the same thing twice and we don't want to have that duplication. You can just kind of maybe place the SpeakPipe. SpeakPipe's a great tool for recording voicemails from people. I would pop that into this bar here, because then there's nothing in the background, and get rid of this one here because it's sort of duplicate. Like the welcome area, I think that's really important. All these pictures of you getting awards and whatnot, super great. This top picture up here of just teeth, though, might be able to be removed. I like just this image panel here on the right. And then, like I was saying here, this paragraph can have some space on the left and right-hand side to have it be a little bit more breathing room on the left and right-hand side. But yeah, get rid of this horizontal one here and just have it be this really nice. This provides proof. This provides authority, and I love that. This, and especially that first picture with the teeth there, that might not work out so well. Book list, so you have sort of recommended books and whatnot. Cool. Now the question is here, like, okay, well, what do you want me to do first, right? How do you want me to navigate through this website? Do you want me to listen to a podcast first? In which case, I would definitely have that podcast be a lot more prominent. If I scroll down, I saw it here in a very small area, but this is like the podcast, right? You share it even here from the podcast. You're vaping dangerously. I would have podcast in the navigation menu. If I go to bookshelf, will that scroll down? Yeah. So I would have an area for the podcast specifically, and maybe pull out some of your top podcast episodes and have it be a little bit easier to get in. And then this down here, I'm not quite sure. This is sort of a reach out to you section, I'm guessing. This is a reach out to you section. So is this a contact me page? So you have contact me down here as well. I would get rid of, so you have in 3 spots. You have one down here at the bottom. You have one here, and then another one up here. Just remove those, clean it up a little bit, and I think it would work out. So main thing, I think the biggest win for you is going to be getting people who land here to go, this is exactly what I was looking for. It's still a little bit abstract right now. And the name, Year of APing Dangerously, what is that? We need to explain that right up front, because a lot of people might not assume what that means or get it confused for something. If it is indeed a advanced placement, then awesome, but it might be something different. A channel for education leaders. Maybe it's education for educational leaders, right? That even explains a little bit more versus just a channel or a space, if that makes sense. Cool. But well done. I like where we're off to a good start. I think the website actually is really, really great. And the YouTube channel we talked about too. So cool. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, so let's move on and let's try to find on YouTube here another channel. And we're going to go to Duck Gun Chronicles. So let's go to Duck Gun Chronicles. All right. So pretty dope avatar, I must say. That's the view off camera with the paint on the face and just you in the snow with the beard. Like, I love the close-up picture. I think more people need to do this kind of thing with their avatar, with essentially what we're seeing here, because these things are really small. I mean, we see them here in the chat, right? And when there's too much information or it's just a screenshot of something, you lose it. But I like Duck Gun Chronicles face showing up nice and big here, and it doesn't even all fit in. And that's okay, because at a small scale, like in chats here and stuff, that'd be great. Paximus here is asking, Pat, do you think a website would be better to do small video clips introducing a page versus using text and paragraph chunks, more interactive and less reading? That's a tough one. I think both. You want to have a video to introduce and get to the highlights really quickly, but remember, not everybody can watch a video or wants to watch a video. Maybe they might be at work and they have the sound off. Then what? You lose that opportunity. I think the text is also important for Google and search engines as well. So both would be great, in my opinion. Okay, so let's keep going here with Duck Gun. And we're going to go, let's pop myself back up there. Duck Gun Chronicles. All right.
Hey.
So we have the artwork here at the top. Keep hunting, never stop. with a picture of a dog. I would love to see maybe you there or something related to the channel. I like the hunter dog, which is cool. Keep hunting, never stop, which is sort of like a phrase. But why is this channel different? What are we going to get here? How many videos are coming out, or what are the videos like? Are we getting tips? Is it a vlog? Are we sort of following along your journey? What exactly is That's hard to say. I have to say, Duck Gun Chronicles. What is DGC about in a sentence? That's what I would like to show here. I think keep hunting, never stop can still remain because that's sort of like a mantra, if you will. But I think that the idea of, again, great photo, but some words. And of course, because there's a light background and there's white text, we again need to be very careful about that. And it's very tough to see this middle part. If I do what I like to call the squint test, if you squint at a page, you can see the parts that people are actually reading. So if I squint, it would say like keep hunt, never stop. So that's just a little small tidbit here, but I like that you have the trailer. Let's watch a little bit of this trailer. I like the length of it. It's 1 minute. I heard some really cool music. So again, work on the artwork to start.
Hey guys, I'm Jordan Fromer. I believe in hunting hard, hunting smart, and having a fun time while doing it. And shooting limits, well, that's just the icing on the cake.
So the B-roll is really great. I like the different pattern interrupts, the music, the voice. Here's what this is about. That's what I would like to see also shared in the artwork, but so far so good.
I revel in the journey just as much as the successes it brings. From ducks to dogs to decoys and guns, we'll be talking
Yo, ducks, dogs, decoys, guns, and more. Right? That's your phrase right there. Ducks, dogs, decoys, and a darn good time, right? Or something like that. I don't know, I'm just making that up, but I like even that alone would go, whoa, this guy seems cool. I like the channel and what the kinds of videos are about. So there you go. Let's go into your, okay, so we have seasons, season 1, season 2, season 3, different categories. You have the podcast, you have popular uploads, which is always a great one. It's interesting how the most popular uploads always have the lowest sort of like to dislike ratio, right? And don't worry about that. That just happens when your videos pop on YouTube. It goes into audiences that aren't necessarily of your normal audience type. And then you have Fly Fishing Chronicles, which is pretty dope. Yep, so you're using the categories really, really well. You can even keep going with that. You can also have different ways that the categories look. For example, if I go to my channel here, let's go to youtube.com/PatFlynn. You could mix it up a little bit just to add a little bit of variety there on your homepage. So again, here's my channel. I don't have a preview right now because I'm live, but if you scroll down, you'll see that these are sort of more horizontal, and then here we go with a more vertical version with bigger ones, right? Like that, horizontal again, vertical, mixing it up, and you can just change the layout of it that way, if that makes sense. But look at here in my artwork, make more money, save more time, help more people, 2 videos per week, which is actually, I need to change that. But yeah, hopefully that helps. Okay, so let's go into these videos. The one thing I will notice is that the thumbnails, I think, could use a little bit of help, right? Especially in like these ones right here. Like this video, a little bit dark. I'm not exactly sure what I'm looking at. It's not very clear. These things blend in. I see now that I'm zoomed in, but even a couple words in there would work. The font here is not the greatest thing for the channel as well for the artwork. See, these stand out a little bit more, right? These really beautiful images stand out for sure. And I love that. But let's go into your videos. Yeah, these ones with the arrows are great because they're like, what am I looking at? But they should be related to the thing, right? Okay, yeah, these work. These work. I like that strategy. Reacting to man getting smashed in face. So these reaction videos are very popular now in these videos. Kennel build for old chief. See, this, yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. I think here's what's happening. Some days you're like, all right, I'm going to go all out on this thumbnail and I'm going to design it a little bit more. I'm going to pay more attention to what people might see in the feed that they have on YouTube or the recommended videos. Other days you're just like, let me just take a screenshot from the video and pop it up there and put an arrow. And I think that you're going to benefit a lot more by spending a little bit more time on the thumbnails and thinking and getting into a person's head on, okay, what would, if I just saw that image and saw that image alone, would that be enough to get me to want to figure out what's going on here, right? The thumbnail should tell a story. The thumbnail should tell some sort of story, if that makes sense. But yeah, it looks like you're having a great time, and I love that, which is great. You know, I think that's going to be, based on the intro that I saw, it's like you want to have people feel like they're on the path with you, right? If that makes sense. So let's go into a video to see if we can watch sort of how you hook me in, right? Dove hunting tips for beginners. Let's watch that one.
What's going on, folks? Thanks for joining me on another episode of Duck Gun Chronicles. I'm Jordan, your host and guide for this waterfowl season.
Love the energy, really up front. That's great. You're in your garage. I will say two things. Number one, you're backlit, and thankfully you have some light facing you. So that's not the worst thing in the world. I like the view from behind as well, which is kind of cool. So you've actually solved the problem that most people have, is when they have light behind them, it's going to darken your face, but you have a light in front of you, which is fine. You might experiment with trying other ways because the light's a little orange. And the other thing is, I noticed that the background, in fact, is a little bit more in focus than you are. So just let's make sure that the camera has autofocus on you and not the background, because I see your mallards here and the background is a little bit more in focus than you. Not a huge deal. I like the energy that you started with. Let's keep going here. And again, I want to make sure that we get into, okay, why should I stick around and watch this video?
Today's video, we're going to be talking about the basics, the 101 beginner level of dove hunting. But before we jump into the video, if you are new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Guys, the main gig of this channel is putting out the hunt videos from the beginning of September all the way through end of goose season in February. It is my passion to film all my hunts and put them up here on YouTube.
Love the B-roll. I liked in the beginning too. Did you notice what he did there? Watch the zoom out really quick.
For this waterfowl season, today's video, we're going to be talking about the basics, the 101 beginner level.
See, even just like small moments like that go a really long way in capturing people's attention in video. It's a really, really easy thing that you can do. Zoom in, zoom out. You just have the same camera on. It's not like a person's there with a camera doing this or zooming in. You just do that in post edit, which is really cool. Let's see. So you talked about what we're going to talk about, which is good. But beyond that, it was just like, okay, well, yeah, I can get this information elsewhere. What's unique about this video about the dove hunting that I should stick around for, right? So let's try that one more time.
Talking about the basics, the 101 beginner level of dove hunting. But before we jump into the video,
yeah, I was just thinking it would have been super funny if, like, when that thing came around, when that car, did you notice that car in the background?
Dove hunting. But before we jump into,
it would be really funny. And this is my personality, not yours. But like, you're totally welcome to have some fun and be a little comedic in these videos, right? So if something like that was happening, oftentimes people would probably, do a retake, right? But like in that moment, just going, hey, why are you interrupting my video? And then a little beep back to it, right? Like a really quick pattern interrupt that you could do, right? So you're hey, in this video I'm going to show you hey, in this video I'm going to be teaching you the basics of dove hunting. Yo, get out of my video, or something like that. Like just little fun things like that could go a long way. You seem to be the type of person that wouldn't mind doing something like that. But again, a fun way to just provide some interactivity in the video there. Dove hunting, yes, dove hunting tips for beginners. So you mentioned, just very briefly, this is the videos about the basics of dove hunting, right?
But before we jump into the...
So, and then you went into the subscribe to the channel. It's okay that you went into subscribe to the channel. It's totally okay that you did that. But basics of dove hunting, great. You got the keywords in there. But what's the hook? Make sure you stick around to watch this video, because if you're just starting out, you're going to get some tips so you don't make the biggest mistakes that most people make when they're hunting for doves. And make sure to pay attention to this video, because I've been dove hunting for over 15 years, and there's 5 things that I've learned that I wish I knew when I first started. So make sure you stick around for that. Now, before we get to that, make sure you hit subscribe to the channel, because we hear XYZ. You see how just like a little bit of that would be pretty cool, right? So, yeah, that's really key. But yeah, going into the, what was that? See, pattern interrupts like that can work really, really well. Just kind of like mess with people's minds in the middle of the video. Keep them engaged, right? But we need that hook, right? So I remember filming with Sean Cannell right? Sean Cannell is a YouTuber, and we filmed our video together. It was a collaboration, and then we literally spent the next 20 minutes just filming the hook after the video was shot. In fact, the main content of the video was shot. And we tried like 5 or 6 different ways, and I was like, wow. Sean, who now has a channel called Think Media, over 1 million subscribers, knows exactly how important it is to have a great hook. So beyond just, hey, here's what we're going to learn, why do we need to learn that here is really key, Let's keep going watching this video.
The video, if you are new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Guys, the main gig of this channel is putting out the hunt videos from the beginning of September all the way through end of goose season in February. It is my passion to film all my hunts and put them up here on YouTube. Also, guys, if you enjoy listening to duck hunting audio as well, I put out a weekly podcast called the Duck Gun Podcast. My co-host is Elliot from Freelance.
And again, without the hook, this is the part where people leave, right? Without the reason to stick around, this is what's going to get people to get up and go, because they're like, okay, but I came here for dove hunting. Like, why should I stick around? And you're telling me in your positioning this channel. I mean, it's 36 seconds in, and you haven't told me why I need to stick around yet.
Duck hunting, and I live stream it here as well every week, so you definitely want to check that out. Duck Gun Podcast. So one last thing before we jump into today's video, guys, stick around to the end. I'm going to be doing a hat giveaway, the Duck Gun leather patch hat and the Ultimate decal. So stay to the end and you get the details for that.
Okay, so the music came in. It came in quite loud. I think we could fade that up a little bit more on the tail end of what you were saying. And finally, and this is the last tip for you, on your videos, make sure that you are looking at the camera lens. To me, it looked like you were looking at, and I could probably guess that you have a camera that has a flip-out screen. And that flip-out screen, even though you're looking at yourself, just that little bit of angle. So let me go to this this angle here. So I'm looking at the lens now. If I were to look at where I see myself, this is what it looks like. And so it completely removes the connectivity because I'm not looking in the eyes of the person who's looking at me. So this is just another small tip for you, but it's so key. And I'm looking at myself still, and it's very simple and easy to do that because it's the bright thing, it's the thing that's moving, but I've trained myself to look at the lens. The lens is the eye of the viewer, and this is the window to the soul. So we need to look right there, not right there, right there, right there. And the closer you are to the camera, the more apparent it is, right? So if I'm back here, it's not as big of a deal. So I'm looking at the screen now, and now I'm looking at the lens. But if I'm here, I mean, it's so obvious versus here. Camera 1, camera 2, camera 1, camera 2. Wayne's World, love that movie. Cool. So hopefully that makes sense. Another side tip for you. But let's keep going on this video because so far we're 55 seconds in. I like the intro music so far. Your B-roll is really good, especially for something like hunting where there's a lot of action and stuff. There's so much that I'm interested in already just from the B-roll alone. So you're doing really great there. Okay, now I see something that relates to the topic, doves. I was waiting for that, and that's good. That should pop in there a little bit earlier. All right, we saw that shot just a second ago.
On to the video.
All right, that was quite long, I gotta say. You had the brief thing in the beginning about, hey, this is dove hunting for beginners. But before that, then you mentioned the subscribership, then you mentioned the podcast, then you had a 25-second intro, and now we're getting into it. We need to get to that sooner, if that makes sense. We need to get that sooner. I think that still having this sort of bumper music and that kind of thing is great, but let's have it be quicker and go into it if that makes sense. How do you shoot B-roll? Super easy. Take your phone, go to slow-mo, and just start filming stuff. And don't go slower on your camera. Just go normally like you would like this, and you're gonna find some really nice B-roll that you can add into your videos. So today's video we're going to be talking about the basics, the 101 of dove hunting.
And guys, by no stretch of the imagination am I an expert on dove hunting. It's something that I've started to get into over the last few years, and I want to share kind of the insight and knowledge from a beginner's perspective, and hopefully I can help you guys who are beginners as well, or maybe even guys who've been doing it for a while. And like I said, yes, I'm a beginner. If you got tips as well, leave them in the comments.
Okay, so I have some things to address about this. Number one, I love how vulnerable you're being, just being like, hey guys, I'm right there with you with this, so just keep that in mind. However, you were definitely selling the fact that maybe these things might not be as great as they could be. And in fact, now you're even asking the audience to come in. And maybe I this is probably not your expertise, and I just chose a random video, so I apologize about that. But I do have to say that if you aren't an expert on something, don't share it up front. Don't explicitly mention that, because now you've gotten 1 minute, 45 seconds into this video, and you're kind of letting people down. And I think that instead of, don't lie to them, right? And don't say, yeah, I'm an expert in this, even though I've only been doing this for a little bit. I would say you can position it in a way like this. These tips are going to be very valuable, and I know because I just started doing this too, and I've picked up a lot of things along the way that I wanted to share with you. And so whether you're a beginner like me or you're an expert, I've found some stuff that I think would be really interesting for you. Right? I'm not honing. It's almost like when a person goes on stage, or maybe they're doing a work presentation, right, at their job, and they go, hey guys, by the way, I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, and I didn't finish my slides, so I'm sorry about that, but I'm going to do this anyway. It's like, why would you say that, right? Let people come to their own conclusion about that, because people, hey, guess what? You might have some amazing tips, and people will start to see you as the authority. You are deflating the possibility of authority happening here by saying that up front. Let the tips speak for themselves, and you might blow people's minds. And then at the end, when you go, oh, by the way, I've only been doing this for 6 months, and thank you for joining me, come follow along as I learn more and share with you, they're going to go, wow, I've learned this much from somebody who just started. Like, you legit have helped me out already. Let me come and find you and follow you, if that makes sense. So anyway, I'm getting a little picky, but you're doing so much right. Your video quality is amazing, and your personality is perfect for something like this. And I'm just trying to offer some tips to help you out and take it to the next level, because you're there. You're doing so well. And I love how consistent you are too. And it just looks like you're having fun. Like, have fun with this, get excited about it, and keep going for sure. How are we done with the hour already? That's kind of crazy. I was thinking about one day, chat, let me know if this might be a fun thing to do, but actually like filming and editing a video for you live and showing you sort of the tips and how I might structure it together. I think that'd be kind of fun, but not really sure what it would be about. But maybe like and I mentioned this earlier in the week, doing like a review of something and showing you how I put it together, how I actually film it. I would film it probably with this camera here, separate from that camera, so you could watch me on that camera while I film on this camera, and put it up and even get into the editing and stuff. I think that'd be kind of fun, and it might be fun to do like a challenge of trying to get that done in an hour, and that way you can kind of get in my head and kind of see how that goes. So yeah, that'd be kind of fun. Cool. So anyway, thank you for coming on today. I appreciate you. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong camera a few times. This is like trying something new with this view here while doing the reviews, because your comments are literally right down below. But day 150 is too short compared to day 100. Hey, we're gonna get to 200 soon enough, and we're gonna have a blast, and we're gonna make it even twice as good. Hey, we might even do a 4-hour session on day 200, but that's 50 days away. We'll get there. When would what's 50 days from now? What's 50 days from now? Sunday, October 4th? Legit? Wow. How many days until December 31st? 138 days. So by then, we'll have 288 episodes by the end of the year. Wow, crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Cool. Maybe a 24-hour session. No, I've heard don't do those. Those will mess you up physically. Anyway, chat, thank you so much for being here. A big thank you to all the new members who subscribed today to the channel. And I appreciate you for coming in. We had a great time. Thank you for the reviews. And tomorrow, Sunday chill day, we're going to put on some background music. I'm just going to answer questions, chillax a little bit with you. So make sure to come in tomorrow, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, right here. patflynn.com/theincomestream is the link you want to remember. And we'll have some fun. Again, tomorrow, we'll just chillax and answer some questions for you along the way. And then we'll get back into it on Monday on another topic that we can deep dive into. And I'm so thankful that you're here and helping me get up in the morning and help you. So cheers. Thanks so much. Have an amazing weekend. And I'll see you tomorrow. And as always, Team Flynn for the win. Let's go.
This is the income stream to help you achieve your dream, all while we keep it clean. This is the income stream. It's the kind of show where you can come and go, but then you leave inspired with no fee required. The income stream with Pat Flynn.
Woo. Thanks all. And by the way, if I go all 4 hours, you don't have to be there all 4 hours. Although some of you I would imagine would. But we're gonna make it a day. 150, y'all. Here's to the next 150. Peace out, y'all. Thanks. Much love. Enjoy your Saturday.
Bruh.